A new presentation offers a shocking picture of how college students view our sex-saturated culture.
It was so popular, students were actually turned away because there weren't enough seats.
Please welcome Michael Leahy and
covering porn addict Michael Leahy.
Michael Leahy.
Michael Leahy's life
Porn
came crashing down.
Former sex addict
Michael Leahy is here.
Michael Leahy's addiction.
To warn college students of the dangers of porn.
Michael Leahy
says his addiction started the lives of the porn.
Michael Leahy is one of the most recognized voices on the subject of pornography today. With national television appearances on programs like ABC's 2020, The View with Barbara Walters, and hundreds of broadcast affiliates, Leahy is fast becoming one of the most visible experts on the psychology of sex in the media. His ongoing debate series with legendary porn star Ron Jeremy has become one of the most popular events on the college speaking circuit.
Putting my feet on the path of pornography as an 11-year-old and then letting that grow into sexual promiscuity as a teenager and a college student eventually led to a path of adultery that cost me a 15-year marriage.
As a recovering sex addict who lost a 15-year marriage with 2 children, Michael is on a personal mission to expose a side of porn that leads to personal devastation for an alarming number of people.
I was, making more money 3 years out of college than my dad did in his best year. I had all the success, but yet there was this little thing in my life, and it was killing me. And it had already taken me to the brink of suicide.
Consumer of it, or was a consumer of it for over 30 years. So really, there's a big part of my life from the time that I was about 11 years old was involved in going back to the material, using it recreationally, and then over time that grew into a compulsive, obsessive behavior where I was using it to kind of change my feeling state, if you will, when I was bored, when I was stressed out, when I was frustrated with relationships, maybe with my parents or girlfriend or some friends. It became kind of my drug of choice, if you will. So, and over time grew into a full-blown addiction that cost me a marriage and a family of 2 boys and all of my significant relationships, my career, everything. So I've had an up and down relationship with pornography for most of my life.
Wow. And so now, you actually spend quite a bit of time, in the area of porn.
Yeah,
I've heard about,
yeah.
You have a debate series with Ron Jeremy, the porn star. What's that like?
Yeah, well, I go around the country and actually all around North America and debate Ron Jeremy, who's really a poster child for the porn industry, debate him on the ethics of pornography. Ron has appeared in over 1,600 porn movies, claims to have slept with over 4,500 women. And one of his big contentions is that porn isn't harmful, that it's just about sex, which of course is a great thing, and so what's the big deal, and freedom of speech anyhow. But what I do is share the other side of the story, that there can be some dangers, there can be some consequences. Not to say that everyone will experience that, but these are the things that are never talked about. And so we've, over time, we've done, I guess, a half dozen debates or so and developed a personal relationship and friendship, which is somewhat interesting. And I consider him my friend, even though we see the world totally different and see this topic totally different. But it's been a great opportunity to be able to just really let the students make a decision for themselves, seeing both sides of the story.
Yeah, and that's cool. So as you're talking to students around the country, what percentage of people do you think would look at porn?
Well, a big difference in the percentage that will admit that they're looking at it versus those that really do. And another thing is you got to really define what pornography is, because one of the things that I do as I go around and I speak to students is I start with a definition of porn. And when you take a look at the fact that pornography is any material that's been designed with the express purpose of arousing you sexually, then it really goes well beyond X-rated, websites or adult videos or what have you. It really starts to encompass a lot more of what we see and hear and what we're exposed to every day. So from that standpoint, everybody is soaking in this stuff. I mean, it's just washing over us. Porn's become the norm. But certainly when you look at the most potent forms of it, developed and designed by people in the industry, and really internet porn, which we talk about as the crack cocaine of internet or of sexual addiction. we use that phrase because it has some very specific characteristics that make it very addictive. And so I think a lot of people are much deeper into it than they ever anticipated being. And overall, I know that we've surveyed students. About 2/3 of all the students say that they spend a lot of time, the majority of their time, thinking about sex and thinking about relationships, and so it really makes them very susceptible to, falling into that, I guess, category of being a recreational user of pornography, whether it's softcore stuff that you find through, Maxim magazine or anything just off the counter, or whether they're really going into some of the heavy stuff.
So if it's if it's commonplace in our society, is it really harmful?